right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. So I guess it was soccer that people got interested in last night.
Well, there were only 3 major league games yesterday.
Yes.
A little light on the sports schedule.
We love soccer.
Something had to take over.
Soccer is taking off in this country.
Has been for decades.
Kansas City is the soccer capital of the United States.
It's a World Cup host city.
It's a World Cup host city. And so they played Uruguay there last night, or Uruguay, whichever way you'd like to say it, last night in the Copa America tournament, and lost. Now, I did not watch this live, but I love when people have the soccer takes. I love when people have, because they're all, throughout my entire life, it has been exactly the same after every important international match for the United States men's soccer team. The reaction is always the same. This is not good enough. Here are the reasons why we need to fire this person. And then, we move on to the next thing. Now, there's some real stakes attached this time, right, Josh? They're hosting a World Cup in a couple years. They're going to get this thing right.
Host country gets an auto bid.
Yeah.
So,
but is it good enough to just be in it, to just be there?
Many would say
some
no.
Some are saying no. Andrew writes in on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed.
Hi, Andrew.
7 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses since Greg 2Gs, by the way.
Yeah.
Berhalter came back as the coach. The fact that they even have to have a conversation of keeping him, keeping his job as a joke. This is supposed to be the golden generation of U.S. men's soccer, and they went out in group play. Okay, now hear me out. Once again, I'd like to hear from some people who know maybe a little bit better of what they're talking about, but hear me out.
Impossible.
Hear me out. No, I will admit up front. I'm not in tune with these things. What is the Copa America? I don't even have any idea.
It's a tournament of the Americas.
It seems important. Yeah. And when the U.S. plays on an international stage, obviously you'd like to win. But everyone keeps saying that. What Andrew just said on Twitter, they keep saying that. They keep saying this is the golden generation.
Yes.
Why do they keep saying that?
That exact phrase.
Why do they keep saying that?
I'm going to guess, and again, just guessing. Sorry if I'm wrong, soccer fans. This is the generation playing now is the generation that grew up as the first generation of okay, America's really going to try with soccer now. This is they've put infrastructure into it. They've put money into it. Their players don't generally play in the MLS anymore. They're playing in the big leagues, in the European leagues. Yeah.
So theoretically, they have better players, right?
Right.
So what does this tell you about their situation? If they have better players and they are investing into it, what does this tell you? Maybe it's something with the coach, yes, but maybe that's a little shallow. Maybe it's something with the entire thing and if these players have grown up and been put into this, and then they continually, not just last night, but continually fail on the international stage or a large stage of any kind, what might that tell you about the operation of United States soccer? Maybe there are some cracks in the foundation. Maybe it's just not that good. Maybe. How is it the golden generation if they haven't won anything? Like I said, I'm flying blind here a little bit, but I fail to see how this is any different than any other time the U.S. men's national team has played on the international stage. How can this be the golden generation if they haven't accomplished anything? Maybe we shouldn't expect them to do things that they haven't done before.
This sounds a lot like when I talk about Nebraska basketball and get yelled at.
Doesn't it? It talks a lot. It sounds a lot like a conversation. So Alexi Lawless, who's like the soccer voice of America.
He is only the voice for America on soccer, nothing else.
Oh, does he have some bad stuff?
He's got takes. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. So he is the voice on soccer. Thank you, Josh. I didn't know about his other takes.
Not good takes, not bad takes, just takes.
Just takes. Okay. He's the voice on soccer. He said a version of this last night, and it went around, and I'll echo it. I've said this with Nebraska football before. It does sound like a lot. It sounds like a lot of the conversations we've been having with Nebraska football for a long time since they haven't been good. So there's this conversation about the players being better, and what the players and the coaches said after the game was like, "Hey, we were right there, and we're getting better. We just didn't finish the job in the second half or whatever." I'd like to repeat this. The same goes for football. Once again, the only thing you get graded on in this class is the tests. You have the tests. You don't get anything else. There's no quizzes. There's no homework to turn in. There's no points.
No extra credit.
There's no points for saying, "Oh, well, we're better and we're getting better and we were almost there." Because during the tests, they still kind of fail. Being better inside the walls doesn't really do it. You get the games. It's the same thing as everybody else. And the other countries, guess what happens? They win the games. They win the games. And it's not just like, it's not just France, and it's not just Brazil. It's not just England and Germany that are winning the games. Like, other countries win games more often than it seems like the U.S. are. Once again, flying a little bit blind here. So the question is, should the United States international men's soccer team be better than they are right now? Should they? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it. When have they ever been good? I hate to just crap all over my own country here, but I don't know. It doesn't seem we have no experience to go off of.
I mean, they made like the round of 16 a couple of times.
Yeah. And people are like, "Oh, the World Cup's coming here."
Thought they got further than
every time they play, and it's a match of significance that people seem to care about on the international level. They're like, "Oh, well, this is an embarrassment." It happens every single time. Every single time they play.
Oh, there it is. Quarterfinals in 2002.
Quarterfinals in 2002. What a year. That was 22 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Time comes at you fast, everybody.
Yep. 2002 wasn't yesterday, folks. Wasn't yesterday. So should they be better than this? I don't know. Kind of doesn't really seem like it.
Well, Andrew tweets back in.
All right, Andrew, what do we got?
Some more informed opinions than ours.
Go ahead. Thank you.
The coach uses a non-attacking type of coaching style. He's more than happy for his team to kick the ball back to the defense and start the passing over again. Okay. It's the coach.
So then there was the thing last night that was going around of they were scoreboard watching the other game that they had to get a certain result in to.
They still could have lost and advanced based on goals.
But he's like shouting out like, "Hey, it's 1-1 in the other game during the game." And I'm like, yeah, okay. That's definitely a bad mark on the coach. What Andrew said is definitely a bad mark on the coach. But once again, like they've had what we've referred to as decent coaches before, or good coaches before. And maybe what you're saying is if you got a good coach paired along with these good players, then I don't know. Then maybe they could be a little bit better. What I see is a lot of like, oh, we're USA Soccer. We've put all this money into it, and we are good because we have good players. We play on the international stage, and then they show up and they don't look like that every single time. I feel like it's a Nebraska football game under Scott Frost. It's like, we had our best week of practice. We have all these things that are really good on paper. We should be pretty good, and then the games come around and they're not good. Is that a coaching thing? Hopefully it's just a coaching thing. I'm definitely willing to entertain the idea that it's like a systemic, like much bigger picture thing than just that, though. So those are my thoughts on a thing that I really have never talked about before.
Look at you, opening new horizons.
I don't know if but I probably sound like an idiot. But this is just the information that I've gathered. So Aaron writes in. Aaron watches the soccer.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for watching the soccer so we don't have
to. He's got a couple texts here. Greg, 2Gs, needs to be let go. The handling of the Reyna situation. This is the most talented team on paper by far the USA has ever had. Most of their players are playing high-level soccer in Europe. We're talking the best leagues in the world level, not just a couple, almost all of them starting. This was a disaster of a showing. They have won several smaller tournaments against CONCACAF teams.
I remember some CONCACAF excitement.
Some CONCACAFs. Also, Alexi Lalas is not the voice of American soccer. He is forced on us. Nobody likes him, but we're stuck on him for some damn reason. But he was correct about last night. When you're forced to agree with him, it's the worst person you know meme in real time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 goals at the
Thank you.
This is COPA.
3 goals at the COPA.
That's not enough. You're going to want to score more goals than that.
Yeah, or allow less.
Yeah,
significantly less.
Have the best goaltender in the world.
Johnny Mills in.
Hi, John.
Soccer is going to become the number 1 sport in the United States, and the United States is going to convert to the metric system. Exciting times.
I've heard this since David Beckham came to America.
Yeah, I heard we were doing all these things. Soccer.
I don't think it's
maybe it's just not
guys.
in the DNA. Maybe it's just not there. I hope it is. And then there was the ref thing, and then the VAR thing. So people are real fired up about.
Why was that offside?
People were. Well, it was.
It was.
Definitely was.
That's what we were mad about.
Instant replay sucks.
Okay.
But so there's that. And I was forced to agree with Nick Wright last night. He had a great take about instant replay in sports. I just came in. I was like, I love that take. I'm going to retweet that. And then there was the Pulisic where he went up to the refs and tried to shake their hands. I want to shake your hand. And they just stared at him. Did you see this? People were real fired up about this.
No.
But right before that, he had just got done yelling at the refs, like to their faces, like, go celebrate with them because you're on their side.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's what he was motioning toward over there.
Bold.
All right. More soccer takes on the soccer hotline from the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Here's Andrew. Hi, Andrew. What's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. Please inform us. Tell us.
Well, here's the deal. Think about how soccer is viewed in the United States. Your kids play when they're young. They play micro soccer and all this. But really, after that, soccer is kind of looked down upon in the United States as a sport. It doesn't really, a lot of people don't respect it. And, we have the best of everything. And you brought it up earlier. I think it's in their heads. They just expect to lose, or it's in their DNA, or whatever you said earlier. I mean, it's just almost, you can expect the U.S. on the big stage in soccer to lay an egg.
That has been my experience, Andrew, for sure.
My take.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Go ahead.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye. So I don't know.
Are we having Husker football conversations?
Yeah.
Like, are we doing a bit here?
So I don't know if it's like people like not respecting it or whatever internationally. I mean, you got to, or in America, like people don't respect baseball because they're like,